My goodness. My goodness, guys. What is good? Woke up feeling like Majin Buu. If you watch Dragon Ball, you know people that know what that means. Woke up in a villainous mood because Inter are stressing me out. Even for, you guys usually find me in the middle of things. I'm not particularly super negative or super positive, but you can find me in the middle of things. But I think even the most optimistic Inter fan right now, you can't be happy with what's going on in this mercato, in this transfer market. What the hell is going on? This striker search is absolutely ridiculous. It's a clown show. Every day a new name, and every day Inter go in to negotiations with a lower budget. I don't know how much money we have. I don't know what Inter want to spend. I don't know what the profile Inter want is. Who do Inter want? Do they have a profile? Is that how even our scouting works? It's absolutely ridiculous. And Cavazzini, Alessandro Cavazzini, if you're interested, by the way, he does great content in Italian on YouTube. He's one of the editors on FC Inter News. This tweet was perfect because this summer, every time we go in for a striker, whether it was Morata, whether it was Scamacca, whether it was Beto, whether it was Balogun, whether it's Taremi now and Arnautovic now the new name, or Lukaku originally, the budget is always, I mean, that's fine. That's part of negotiations. You always, start off lower than what the asking price is. But but we've not landed any of these people. We can't even say that. Oh, we didn't even try. We tried for all of these guys, and every single time there wasn't either enough budget or they weren't convinced enough. Balogun was supposed to be, the number one target, and then now apparently, as of yesterday, Inter announced to Arsenal or communicated to Arsenal that we are out of the race because we've seen Monaco are interested, other teams might be interested, and Arsenal seems to be sticking to their 40 million pound plus valuation, not euros, pounds. So who the hell are we getting? Can we afford anyone? That's the question. And of course, Inzaghi first. Excuse me. Look, I'm losing my voice speaking about this situation. But Inzaghi, our coach, he is a saint. He is an absolute saint. This guy, last year, was on his knees until the last day of the transfer window to get a centre back, and in the end, it was his boy Acerbi, and his boy Acerbi came through. And you guys on this channel voted him our MVP of last season for his consistency. But he had to wait for him until the last day of the window. And now he's even going to get a striker before we play Monza, which now is literally pretty much a week away. We're playing next Saturday. We play against Monza, kickoff of the Serie A season, and we still don't have a striker. Striker, by the way, then we've known since the Lukaku drama, everything happened, which, I was like happy. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, we can break free from it. Let's go for someone else. It's been over a month. Over a month they've had to sort this out, and they still haven't sorted it out. And if I was Inzaghi, I mean, this is where the management, Zhang, and everyone must be delighted to have Inzaghi rather than Conte, because Conte or any coach that, with a bit of that type of attitude, and he would have been either out of the window or saying, cancel my contract now, pay me off, I'm off, get me out of here, or would have been putting up a fuss in the media, would have been firing shots at the management, at the ownership for not getting things sorted. So I don't know how he does it, Inzaghi, because now it's been announced now. Marotta said it. He, Inzaghi himself, seemed like he was probably coerced into saying it in the first press conference of the season. The Scudetto target has been announced very, very clearly this season. Second star. I mean, it was clear already last few seasons, but this year has been even extra emphasized. But you gotta give him the team to do it. And again, and this is not even because of the management or my faith in management, it's just because of the level of Serie A. Whatever will happen, I think, in a way, whatever team is given to Inzaghi will be good enough to challenge for the Scudetto, because we got to look at the teams that won it recently. Napoli last year, good squad overall, but it's again not a super team, they won it with Irving Lozano, Politano as the right wingers. After Osimhen, who's like the equivalent to our Lautaro, their star striker. Afterwards, if they got Simeone, like they got decent players, but it's not like a super team. Like, and of course we know the Milan team that won the year before with Giroud up front and Rebic and these Krunic, Salamakers, these types of guys. Like that's the level in Serie A. Like again, I'm fuming right now. I'm panicking a little bit because of the situation, but I know that because of the level of Serie A, whoever actually comes in, it will be okay. But there's a limit to things, guys. And of course, everything, as always, stems from the ownership. We know Steven Zhang Suning, like it's well overdue. They cannot afford Inter anymore. Like literally, they cannot afford to run it. The liquidity issues that we have stem from them. But also the management, a lot of the, Marotta was a lot of the decisions they made, they just can't sell players. Like they sell the big guns. Like, we saw Lukaku, Hakimi for plenty of money, and now Onana, again, I'm going to say undersold, Brozovic undersold, but it's easy to sell these guys when they have demand, but we need to get rid of the guys like Lazaro, like as much as we love him, Sensi as well, like the guys that Correa is the biggest issue. And we're seeing once again this season, people always say like, oh, Inter should have sold Correa. Where are the offers? We were talking about these Saudi Arabia offers. There were rumors that there was some Saudi interest in him, but nothing has happened. Once again, I have not seen one confirmed in this. This is now coming up to his third season at Inter Correa. I've not seen one confirmed report of a concrete offer for this guy. It's easy to say sell this guy, but this guy's getting no interest. But then the other guys as well. We're seeing Fiorentina sell Artur Cabral now to Benfica for like 25 million. I don't know how that's happened. Dennis Zakaria, Juventus sold him the other day to Monaco for around 20 million euros. That guy was, flopped at Chelsea, flopped at Juve, but still they managed to sell him somehow. There's resale value there. But for us, it just seems like we just cannot sell any of our rejects. And then that affects our market, because then we get the budget that we got from Onana, but then we could get this extra little budget from these kind of guys helping us with the wage space and just like extra liquidity, but we don't get anything. And then guys like Sensi now, speaking of Marco Arnautovic, going from Lukaku, Scamacca, Balogun to a 34-year-old that flopped at Inter. I mean, I've always liked them as a bit of a cult figure, especially in that triplete season. If you know, like this guy, him, Quaresma, like these guys were barely playing in the Mourinho, but they were like funny figures in that whole season, and him and Balotelli's relationship. I always followed his career around, which I've always really rated him. His talent was really, really top notch. He was called the new Ibrahimovic, but he had the attitude and a little bit of the ability. I'm not going to say he was completely there, but yeah, his career definitely, his talent deserved a better career than he had, but he sorted himself out the last few years. But now Bologna are asking for like 20 million for a 34-year-old. It's absolutely crazy. And apparently, according to Gazzetta, which again, we know source-wise not the greatest, according to them, we bid 8 million plus Sensi, rejected by Bologna, who won now at least 15 million, so at least they moved down from 20. And yeah, the issue is Correa. If Correa leaves, we can get 2 strikers in. But because of Correa, at the moment, we can only get 1 in. I'm not even against the Arnautovic signing, but 15 million, no. If this guy is super cheap, Milan will almost sign this guy when Maldini was there. I think that was probably one of the reasons why he was fired, Maldini, because I think the ownership disagreed with getting players in like this. But for us, I don't mind, because now we've got a 26-year-old in Thuram and another 26-year-old in Lautaro, 25, 26, whatever they both are. So if you get one older guy in there, it doesn't really change things too much. But you can't overpay for it, one for sure. And then there's another 30-plus-year-old guy that we're linked with, which again, I do like a lot. He is, to me, basically Dzeko, a younger Dzeko at the moment. Even though he's 31, Dzeko was 37, so he's definitely a younger Dzeko. But again, Porto are asking for the moon. They're talking about 30 million asking price. But apparently now, since we pulled out of the Balogun, he is now the top target, Mehdi Taremi. Apparently Inter are even willing to go up to 25 million. Again, yeah, we know 31-year-old, he's not going to have any resale value, but there's some deals where I can look past the resale value thing, even in Inter's position, because if the target is the Scudetto and you bring it, so this is basically like, you know, how we brought in last season Lukaku, where we know that loan was super expensive, you know, all in all, that loan cost us about 20, 21, 22 million euros just for that loan, you know, with wages, the fee, everything all in. And we were Scudetto all in with that. But obviously his injury and things didn't work out, but it worked out in the Champions League and stuff, apart from the final, obviously. So in a short-termism way, again, plug-in gap type of way, these types of deals could work. But it needs to be sorted. It needs to be sorted. You guys know, I'll keep repeating. To me, there's a guy out there. Yes, he doesn't fit Inzaghi's request because clearly he wants a bigger man. He wants a Dzeko profile, a big guy that can hold up the play to make up for the Lukaku and Dzeko leaving. So that's where Taremi and Arnautovic at the moment come in. So I understand that. But you got a guy out there like Gift Orban, who again the other day scored another hat trick. His price keeps going up since I mentioned him since last month. His price gone from probably from 20 to 30 plus now. Apparently Spurs are interested, obviously, with the sell Harry Kane. They'll probably go for him. Get Gift Orban. Get him. But whoever it is, I hope the situation is sorted out as soon as possible. I am not happy with the situation. At least, yes, the goalkeeper situation is sorted. The midfield is over sorted. Actually, it's a little bit too sorted now. We need to see if we can make some money in the midfield position. Agume is another guy that's still out there, not sold or loaned, anything. We've got all these things up in the air. This is where, as much as, you know, of course, the ownership always is the reason for a lot of issues, the management has to do a lot better. I'm not been impressed with a lot of the work done by management this summer. And yeah, in the future, I would like to see some changes made, you know, Auxilio, Marotta. I think it's time to look for new ways of doing things. Looking for profile, analytics-based scouting is the future of where football is moving. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you make of Arnautovic? Would you sign him? What's your max amount that you would sign him for? I think, you know, 7-8 million max for Arnautovic. You got to bully Bologna on this deal if possible. And Taremi, just because of how desperate we're getting, 25 million. If you can land him, I'm okay with that, even without the resale value factor, as long as it's not Beto. We can end it on that. Ciao ragazzi, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Forza Inter, Forza Majin Buu.